So the first step in this build is going to be to clean up the inside of the grip, which we've already done. There's a lot of burrs and sharp edges that can really mess up your trigger job and give you a fit later on down the road if you don't take care of them in the beginning. And then after that, we're moving on to the slide and frame fitment. And what I'm doing here is, again, kind of the same thing, deburring the inside of the frame rails and slide rails. And I've got some 1000 grit sandpaper that I use along with FP10 oil. And I use that for my final sort of lapping in and breaking in compound. As that sandpaper and oil mix together, it produces a really fine grit that I find is superior to other lapping compounds. So the slide to frame fitment on a 1911 really is more about the feel of the gun in the hand as it is to performance. If you have a 1911 with a, not necessarily sloppy, but not a precision fit slide and frame, you can still have a really accurate pistol. However, if you have a pistol with a poor barrel job and poor lug fitment, the odds of that pistol being accurate and performing well are a lot lower. So the slide to frame fit, I kind of mark that up as a lot more of the feel. How does a gun feel in the hand as opposed to performance? But when you're building a high-end pistol, both feel and performance are equally valuable. So the crown on a 1911 barrel has been hotly debated on the internet over the years, but in my experience, it does not matter. The crown has zero effect on accuracy or performance. I did an experiment one time. I took a barrel, it was a completed gun essentially, ready for test fire, and I ground the face of it down on a belt sander. So just a flush 90-degree belt sander face off on the muzzle of the gun. Took that out in a ransom machine rest test. At 50 yards, it shot a 2.5-inch group. Very nice group. I took that same barrel back in the shop, put a nice crown on it, polished it, made it look really nice, put it back in the ransom rest, did the same test with the same ammo under the same conditions, and I got the same 2.5-inch group. So on a 1911, the degree, the depth, it has zero to do with performance. It is purely aesthetic. So now we're moving on to the heart and soul of the pistol, and that is the barrel fitment. You've got the barrel hood, you've got the top lugs, and you've got the bottom lugs. And each one is pretty important. The hood is probably the least important as far as accuracy and performance goes of those three. But nonetheless, it can be a little bit frustrating because people will be surprised at how inconsistent metal parts are. Even off high-end CNC machines, the breech face of this slide is going to be slightly different than the breech face on the next slide. And for that reason, we hand fit every barrel hood to the specific slide. Now this next part is where I fit the bottom lugs. This is where the slide stop interacts with the barrel. And I used to do this solely by hand from start to finish. However, producing more pistols in the quantity that we are now, it started to take a toll on my hands. So I built this fixture. This is my barrel fitting fixture. And it's just a simple fixture that holds the barrel 90 degrees with the milling machine so that I can machine off quite a bit of that metal on those bottom lugs before I start putting the finishing touches on it by hand. Hey, that's not bad.